Money on my mind, looking for a dime. James Locke in the house, gonna help you shine.
Welcome to the Poole Locke YouTube channel. I'm James Locke. Today we're going to answer some Ask James questions of the day. And our first question is from Leo, and he says, I want to retire next year. What should I be focusing on now, today? So as you approach retirement next year, the most crucial focus for you right now is that it's really that fundamental shift in your investment strategy. You've likely been accustomed to that total return accumulation approach, where your investments generate return through both, income, interest and dividends, the I, and growth, G, right, capital appreciation. Now, as you transition into retirement, it's time to prioritize income first and growth second. Typically, I recommend making this shift about 10 to 15 years before retirement to mitigate potential risks of market downturns. Now, fortunately, given that the recent strong market performance, you're in a favorable position to start making this adjustment now. Unlike those who may have been underwater kind of in the market for an extended period in previous decades, you have the opportunity to realign your position strategy and your portfolio strategy proactively. So what does this income first approach entail? It means focusing on investments that generate reliable income streams such as high dividend stocks or bonds. These are assets that pay out regular interest or dividends, providing you with a steady cash flow during retirement. So this income can be essential for covering your living expenses without having to dip heavily into your principal. Now, this doesn't mean abandoning growth entirely. Growth still plays a role in your portfolio, but it takes a backseat to income. By structuring your investments this way, you're kind of aiming for stability and reduced volatility in your retirement years. This approach helps safeguard your financial security by ensuring you have predictable income regardless of market fluctuations. Moreover, as you transition into retirement, it's crucial to reassess your risk tolerance and adjust your assets to align accordingly. You may want to kind of gradually shift towards more conservative investments to further reduce risk. This could include reallocating some of your assets into less volatile instruments like bonds, dividend income, things like that, dividend stocks. Ultimately, the key takeaway here is to align your investment strategy with your retirement income needs. By focusing on generating income in your portfolio, you're positioning yourself for a more secure and stable financial future in retirement. Remember, it's never too late to make this critical shift, and doing so now will better prepare you for the next phase of your financial journey. Great question. If you would like to send in your question, you can do so. You can email it to poollocke@poollocke.com. Moving on to our second question from Aaron. What you're saying really makes sense, but why hasn't my financial advisor mentioned any of this? All right, that is a great question, and it's not uncommon for financial advisors to focus primarily on growth-oriented strategies rather than emphasizing income-focused approaches for retirement. There could be several reasons why your advisor hasn't discussed this with you. First, many advisors are trained and incentivized to prioritize total return, which includes both growth and interest and dividends. They often excel at accumulating wealth leading up to retirement, but may not be specialized in transitioning clients into the income phase effectively. This transition requires a different set of skills and strategies to ensure a reliable stream of income while managing risk and volatility. Second, the financial industry tends to emphasize growth because it typically leads to higher returns over the long run, which can translate into higher fees or commissions for advisors and financial institutions. There's a pervasive belief that chasing high returns is the best way to grow wealth, but this approach may not align with the income needs and risk tolerance of retirees. Moreover, some advisors may not be aware of or trained in income-focused retirement planning strategies. They might rely on outdated or overly simplified methods like the withdrawal method or bucket strategies, which can be risky and inefficient in providing substantial income throughout retirement. Let's dive, let's push further into why income-first strategies are crucial as you approach retirement. By focusing on generating income from your investments, high dividend stocks, bonds, other income-generating assets, you're prioritizing stability and reducing reliance on market fluctuations. This approach ensures that you're not dipping into your principal unnecessarily, which is essential for maintaining your financial security in retirement. I often caution against using the withdrawal method, where retirees draw down a fixed percentage of the portfolio each year. This method can erode your principal over time and have you vulnerable to market downturns or longevity risk. Instead, the goal should be to live off the income produced by your investments, allowing your principal to potentially grow or remain stable to meet future needs. As for bucket strategies, while they can provide a sense of security by segmenting assets into different time horizons, they still rely on market performance and assumptions about how long you'll live. It's a form of asset allocation that doesn't necessarily guarantee income sustainability without careful planning and monitoring. So really, in conclusion, while growth has its place in the investment strategies, especially during kind of the accumulation phase, transitioning into retirement requires a shift towards prioritizing income. It's essential to work with an advisor who understands these nuances and can tailor a plan that aligns with your specific retirement income goals and risk tolerance. Remember, the key is to ensure that every dollar you spend in retirement comes from interest or dividends, not from depleting your nest egg. This approach can provide peace of mind and financial stability throughout your retirement years. Great questions. And as always, if you would like to send in your question, please do so. You can email them to poollocke@poollocke.com. And if you like what you heard, go ahead and like and subscribe to our channel. I'm James Locke, your retirement income source. I'll see you next time.
Money on my mind, looking for a dime. James Locke in the house, gonna help you shine. Retirement is near, don't you live in fear. Listen up, my friend, let me make it clear. Savings in the bank.